what's going on YouTube? This is BoxingWave, and I just finished watching a fight here at home on TV. I had a DVR'd. I did watch the fight on Saturday, okay, but I watched it. I was out and about, so I watched it on Saturday from my cell phone, okay, so it wasn't really clear or anything like that, but I did see the fight. And thank God I didn't make a reaction after my first viewing of the fight, okay? Because I have a totally different opinion on it. Those of you that follow me on Twitter saw my reaction on Twitter, and let's just throw that whole reaction out the window, okay? Because I don't necessarily agree with that, all right? What I said that night. Anyway, so I wasn't a fan of the fight to begin with, leading up to the fight, okay? Those of you that didn't see my reasons why or my thoughts on the fight, it's only a few videos ago. You want to check it out, you can check it out, okay? But I thought it was a great fight, you know, for what it's worth. I wasn't a fan of the fight because I wanted to see Golovkin fight the Chris Eubanks, the Daniel Jacobs, the Billy Joe Saunders, the Canelo Alvarez. I wanted to see him fight a real middleweight, okay? And we didn't get that. We got him fighting a welterweight, okay? A welterweight that's still, well, not anymore, but at a point, he was still a little bit untested. I mean, outside of being Sean Porter, really didn't fight anyone really good. There's so many other welterweights I wanted to see Kell Brook fight, you know? So I thought this fight was a waste because it really didn't prove anything. You know, it's a win-win for Kell Brook because if he looked bad, it wouldn't have mattered because he was fighting a middleweight anyway, okay? And if he looked good, then his stock would rise, which is actually going to happen now because now everyone is going to respect Kell Brook because he was more durable than any other fighter that Golovkin has faced up to this point, in my opinion. You know, and his stock has risen, whereas Golovkin, people are slandering him now because of the fact that he couldn't stop Kell Brook and because of the fact that the fight was much more competitive. That was the most competitive Triple G fight that I've seen since Kasim Uma. I haven't seen Martin Murray, Willie Monroe, David Lemieux, you know, Matthew Macklin, all of those guys that Golovkin beat. None of them fought as competitive as Kell Brook did, in my opinion. I haven't seen one Gennady Golovkin, Gabe Rosado. I haven't seen Curtis Stevens. All of these guys fell short to what Kell Brook did in this fight. Okay, I still think Golovkin was winning, but I thought it was close. I thought the first 4 rounds, Kell Brook won almost half of each round. The 5th round was Golovkin's best round. The 5th round was the only round that Golovkin was clearly winning, okay? The first round, he had Kell Brook hurt early, and then I don't know what happened after that. It seems like he just put his gloves up, went in the shell, and Kell Brook gained a lot of confidence, and he fought back, you know? Second round, same thing. And it was like Golovkin started off quick, and then Kell Brook came back, you know? And he was landing clean, hard shots. I mean, I'm not saying that Golovkin was hurt or was in any danger. Like, I mean, the shots did bother him. I don't think he was in any danger. I thought Kell Brook was in a little danger in the first round when he got clipped by that left hook. Golovkin went to the body, left hook to the body, then he went up top with the left hook. Wobbled Kell Brook. You know, Kell Brook did have to hold on. All right, but outside of that, one shot right there, nothing seemed to really hurt either fighter. You know, I think Golovkin was taking some hard shots. I think the shots bothered him more so than any other shots that we've seen from other fights. You know, I think those shots bothered him. Those uppercuts bothered him more than, you know, those shots that Curtis Stevens landed in those middle rounds when they fought. You know, when Curtis Stevens was landing bombs continuously. Even when Willie Monroe, when Golovkin was telling him, yo, hit me, you know, and Willie Monroe was hitting him with all of that he had, I think Kell Brook's shots were more effective, you know, in my opinion, you know. So I think the fight was competitive. I think Kell Brook was winning a good portion of each round from 1 to 4. I think the only clear round he won was the second round, but I think the first, third, and fourth were debatable rounds. I mean, to be fair, I thought Kell Brook, people that, I seen a lot of people reaction on Twitter. I really didn't check the YouTube videos too much, but I seen the night of the fight. I saw the way people were reacting, and people were saying that they thought Kell Brook won this round or this round. You know, even Gennady Golovkin said that he, I don't know. I don't know if he was being a nice guy or not, but he was saying that he lost every single round except maybe one. You know, so I mean, listen, if that's how you feel, I don't have. I don't have a problem with that. I thought the fight was competitive. Just like the Keith Thurman Sean Porter fight, I thought it was competitive. Believe it or not, I thought these 5 rounds were actually better than the 5 rounds of the Keith Thurman Sean Porter fight. This was a really, really good fight. I'm sitting here like I'm watching it like it was a good fight. It was a very good fight. Too bad it had to end the way that it did. And I'll go right into that now. There's a lot of things I want to discuss in this video, but let's go into the stoppage. First of all, I saw the reaction on Twitter. It's not the ref's fault, okay? In fact, the ref didn't even see the towel waving, or either he didn't see it or he was ignoring the towel waving. But the corner of Kell Brook was waving the towel for a while before they finally decided to throw the towel in. Okay, the ref didn't stop the fight until that towel was thrown into the ring. Okay, so I don't know what the rules are in regards to that. I've seen fights stop because the towel was being waved. I don't know if it has to be waved or thrown in, but the ref didn't react to it until the towel was actually on the floor in the canvas. Okay. Now, my opinion, Golovkin was definitely winning that round, okay? This was the round that either Kell Brook actually looked tired, okay? He looked tired. He didn't seem to be bothered by Golovkin's power, but he did look gassed, okay? Golovkin just went full power, full force in this. He smothered Kell Brook, and even though a lot of shots weren't landing clean, there were shots that were landing clean, and Kell Brook didn't seem to be really hurt by it. He seemed more fatigued, if anything. Even I think there was a point where Kell Brook swung and threw a right hook, and he just had no power, no strength into it. He looked very, very tired, but he was still standing on his feet. He was egging Golovkin to come on, he was throwing his arms up like, that's all you got, but he wasn't actually winning the round. Golovkin was all over him, all right? And Kell Brook is just one tough dude. I mean, he's more durable than all of these guys that Golovkin faced. I mean, since Kasim Uma, he was more durable. I mean, Martin Murray was very durable too, but Kell Brook was actually fighting better than Martin Murray was, all right? So, as far as the stoppage, I mean, at first I thought it was a good stoppage. Now I'm more like, I wish we would have saw a 6th round, because Golovkin was throwing a lot of punches in that, and it was very possible that he might have punched himself out. If there was a 6th round, Kell Brook might have had a chance to come back and win the 6th round. But we will never know, because the corner threw in the towel. As a fan, I wanted to see more. But if I was Kell Brook's trainer, I would have probably been more concerned with his health. All right. I know a lot of you guys don't want to hear that because you wanted to see the fight go on as boxing fans, which is understandable. As a fan myself, I'm telling you, I wanted to see more of the fight. But I'm not Kell Brook's trainer, relative, friend. I don't know the guy. All right. So I don't really care for him personally. And his trainer sees this guy losing and taking hits. Plus, he has a broken eye socket. I can understand his concern. As Kell Brook was walking to his corner after the towel was waved, I saw his trainer pointing at him. He's pointing at his eye like, look, I had to stop the fight. Your eye, your eye, your eye. He was pointing at his eye. And, he stopped it for it, And you got to think, a lot of guys don't come back. And they never fight again because of these eye injuries. Look how long Margarito didn't fight. The fighter that fought Guillermo Rigondeaux, Tayon Kennedy, look, he doesn't fight anymore because of his eye. He had an eye injury, There's plenty of fighters throughout the history of boxing that they couldn't fight anymore because of an eye injury. So, if Kell Brook took a few more hits, we don't know what kind of damage it would have done to his eye permanently. So you have to look at it in that sense, okay? Kell Brook did put on a great fight, but his corner was concerned, all right? So I can't say it's the ref's fault. Can't say it's the corner's fault. I understand where they're coming from. And Kell Brook, he wanted the fight. Obviously he didn't want the fight to stop. So, I understand from all standpoints. Now, for the people that are upset, and the people that think Golovkin is overrated now because of this fight, all right? If this fight was anywhere near competitive, we would have been, everyone was going to say that Golovkin was overrated. I'm not surprised by the reaction of people because Golovkin is fighting a welterweight, and he was supposed to stop this welterweight as soon as possible. I predicted that the fight was going to be stopped by the 6th round, okay? I thought Golovkin was overall the better fighter and the bigger fighter, okay? And the stronger, the harder puncher. All of these rumors, all of these things that we heard about Golovkin fighting bigger guys, dropping bigger guys, stuff like that. I mean, what else would you expect, But in my opinion, if anybody was exposed, it's the middleweight division that was exposed, I mean, how can you not look at it that way? If you want to say Golovkin was exposed, all right, fair. But everyone that Golovkin faced was exposed. Everyone that ducked him, every fighter that did not fight Golovkin was exposed. Okay? Do I have to go break down the names of the fighters that's exposed? I mean, Chris Eubank didn't fight him. All right? Danny Jacobs is just now calling him out. Billy Joe Saunders didn't fight him. Canelo Alvarez didn't fight him. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. didn't fight him. Sergio Martinez didn't fight him. All these fighters that did not fight Golovkin, all right, but Kell Brook did and actually put up a good fight. Those fighters were exposed too, because it took a welterweight to move up to 160 to actually give Golovkin a good ass fight. So how are they not exposed? Yeah, Danny Jacobs is calling him out now because he's feeling the pressure. Guys think he's a chump. So, of course, he's calling him out now. And towards the end of 2016, we're in September, he's just now calling out Gennady Golovkin after beating Sergio Mora for the second time. How would you have feel if Golovkin were to fight Matthew Macklin in 2016? That's pretty much what Danny Jacobs did fighting Sergio Mora for the second time. It's just a fight that we already knew the outcome. I didn't watch the fight by the way. I didn't even watch that fight. I don't want to judge it too much because I didn't actually watch the fight. But still, I mean, I know that he was stopped. I know Mora was stopped. Danny Jacobs had no business fighting that guy for a second time anyway. He got caught with a good shot in the first fight. Well, all Danny Jacobs needed to do was stay on his defense and fight a smart fight, and it would have been an easy fight to begin with, But anyway, everybody in the middleweight division was exposed. It took a welterweight to move up and fight a guy that is considered to be the hardest puncher pound for pound in boxing, and it took a welterweight to fight him, I mean, that's all I got to say about that. Now, for the people that thought that Kell Brook was winning, okay, that the fight was so competitive that Kell Brook had a chance of winning this fight, be careful with what you say, all right? Because if you thought that fight was that close, and the fight was close, not trying to debate that, but if you're that upset at the towel being, if you're trying to say that the fight was so close and the towel was waved and Golovkin was saved, don't say that unless you want a rematch. All right, because we saw the Mayweather-Maidana fight, and that fight was competitive. It was very competitive. In my first viewing, I thought Maidana won the fight. I was a little drunk, but it's still, I could watch it now and say, well, Maidana at least won 5 of those rounds. At least won 5 of those rounds. Clearly, in my opinion. Be careful with what you say, because these guys could rematch. If you really thought that Kell Brook had a shot of winning that fight, let's see it again. And I'm sure none of you would be happy if you heard that Golovkin was going to fight this guy again. Okay? Floyd Mayweather fought Maidana again. Everybody was upset. But everybody, a lot of people thought Maidana won the fight or even draw or something. I thought the fight could have easily been a draw. All right? So, and then we saw the Luis Castillo fight. That fight too. We got a rematch in that fight. All right? So anyway, let's calm down. All right? Let's calm down. Let's move on from this. This fight should have never happened to begin with. Let's see. All these guys are coming out now talking. Heard Carl Froch, another guy that chose to stay retired instead of fighting Golovkin when the fight was available. All right? He didn't fight Golovkin. All right? But now he has so much to say. I would have beaten Golovkin. Yeah, all right, whatever. All right? Danny Jacobs, Billy Joe Saunders want to fight now. I don't know if Canelo reacted or not, but, I'm sure he feels a little bit more confident now getting in the ring with Golovkin. Now everybody's confident. Now everybody wants to fight him now. It takes one. I wouldn't even say it was a poor performance because I don't want to take away Kell Brook's boxing ability. Everybody going into this fight said that Kell Brook was more skilled. All right. I didn't agree with being more skilled overall than Golovkin, but I did agree with Kell Brook being more skilled than anybody that Golovkin has faced. And you saw it. The guy was slippery. He was countering. He was landing better shots. He was landing clean. He was doing great. And he was much more durable than all of these other fighters at 160. So, I don't want to take away from his performance and everything, but it took, listen, the guy, everybody's confident now into fighting Gennady Golovkin. And I think, and I've said on this channel, I think some of these fighters will give him good fight. I think Chris Eubank would have been a great fight. I thought for, and especially, not even, I think if Golovkin were to fight Chris Eubank, he wouldn't fight him in a way where I'm going to try to knock him out early. I think Golovkin would have fought him like the way he fought Lemieux. Golovkin did not try to knock out Lemieux. He tried to break him down and outbox him, and then he stopped him later. Okay? He wanted to accumulate damage long term. He didn't go into the Kell Brook trying to fight that way. He went into the fight, listen, I'm the bigger guy. You're the smaller guy. I'm going to stop you, If he had fought that way with Kell Brook, I think he would have had more success, He didn't. He went in there and he fought a lousy fight. He did. He tried to get him out of there, and the guy was just too tough to get knocked out. If he were to fight Chris Eubank that way, he's going to have trouble. You fight Saunders that way, you're going to have trouble, especially early on. You're going to take more damage. Okay? You can't fight these guys that way. You can't fight Canelo that way. You can't fight you can't fight Danny Jacobs that way, But he tried to do it with Kell Brook, and he paid for it. He did it with Dominic Wade. He didn't respect Dominic Wade, and for good reason. Dominic Wade wasn't that good. But all these other fighters, he fought, like David Lemieux, he fought with caution. You know, Billy Joe Saunders is not a huge puncher. Might not even be a bigger puncher than Kell Brook. Who knows? I mean, Kell Brook looked strong at 160. Those shots he landed, those hurt. Okay, you can't, Golovkin say he wasn't really bothered by it. I think some of those shots hurt. Okay, Billy Joe Saunders is equal as far as skill and talent, in my opinion, to Kell Brook, but he's a natural middleweight. But the thing about Billy Joe Saunders, I don't know if he could be as durable and take those shots that Kell Brook did, and I don't think his fatigue. Billy Joe Saunders, he fatigues horribly. Danny Jacobs, he's definitely not as durable as Kell Brook in this fight. Danny Jacobs is going down. He's going to sleep if he takes those shots. What's the boy? Eubank? Eubank is tough. Eubank would be a war. Eubank will go in there. That's why I wanted to see that fight, because Eubank, to me, isn't really afraid of him. Eubank will actually bang with him, And Golovkin would have to resort to being a boxer in that match, in my opinion, I'm not saying Golovkin can't bang with him and go to war and make it a street fight like he likes to say, but he would have a better chance of winning and would look more impressive if he tried to outbox Eubank. And as far as Canelo, the same thing. Canelo arguably hit harder than any of those guys, or at least as hard as a Jacobs or Eubank or whatever. I think Canelo would obviously try to outbox him. Okay, it would be a technical boxing match, in my opinion. Both of those guys have respect for each other, no matter what people say about Triple G and Canelo. Canelo being scared. I think Triple G, if he were to fight Canelo, he would have a lot of respect for him in that ring, and he wouldn't want to get hit with a clean shot by Canelo, because Canelo does put all his weight into his punches. He hits very, very hard. Golovkin's not going to want to fight like the way he fought Kell Brook, So anyway, I think I covered most points here. Kell Brook, 154 was the smart move to me, in my opinion, to move down to. But it's tough there too. I think at this point, he looks strong at 160. For him to go up to 160, go up and weigh as high as 176 a month before the fight, and then cut down and look that strong. Even before the fight, when I see him doing some mitt work in the a couple of days before the fight, he looked strong. Just the way that he was hitting the mitts, he looked fast, he looked strong, and then he was moving well. He didn't seem to be bothered by losing all the weight and cutting down in weight, and still looked very muscular. Okay, so at 160 he looked good. I think he would fare pretty well at 160 against other fighters, and I think he would have beaten everybody else that Golovkin has faced at 160. Now looking at it now, I think if he had fought Lemieux, he would have beat Lemieux. Dominic Wade and all those other guys, Curtis Stevens, he would have beaten probably all of those guys. But at 154, it's tough. Because you have a lot of guys that box well at that. Julian Williams and DeCharlos and Demetrius Andre. These are guys that are long, that are good boxers. They're long and they're very good boxers, and they have power. Even a fight with Austin Trout would be a tough fight for Kell Brook. These are all tough fights. But moving down to 147, I don't see it now. I don't see it happening now. For him to look that strong at 160 and be only 5'9", I just don't expect him to go back down to 147 at this point. Which sucks, because I wanted him to fight Thurman and Errol Spence. I don't think it's going to happen now. I just don't think. And you know what? People are giving him a lot of credit for his performance here. People like him now. And he gained a lot of fans and respect, and I think now he has a little bit of star power. I'll even go as far as saying that. I wouldn't be surprised if he went down to 154 and Canelo next year. And I'm saying this now. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. I think a lot of people are paying attention to Kell Brook now. And for him to fight with a broken eye socket that might have possibly been broken since the first round, for him to fight that well, even with a messed up eye, says a lot. All right. So anyway, Golovkin, I just think he made a poor decision. I don't think he's been exposed. I just think that the way he his strategy was a bad one. Okay, I think he should have gave Kell Brook a lot more respect than that and try to break him down each round instead of trying to just get a knockout shot because Kell Brook was too skilled of a boxer. A huge step up as far as skill for him. And I think he just went in there thinking that he was going to knock this guy out. I didn't care about the weigh-in. I saw people talking about him being sick. It's because he wasn't smiling or anything like that. The dude, or being weight drained. He wasn't drained or anything like that. The dude just, I don't know. Maybe he just wasn't. I have no idea why he wasn't smiling in his usual self. But I don't think he was sick or weight drained. I just think he's been making 160 his whole career. I don't think it was a problem. And he was just quiet. I have no idea. Maybe something else that we don't know was going on. I have no idea. But I didn't really buy into all the weight and all that stuff. I didn't buy into any of that. I think give Kell Brook his credit. He fought a great fight, and Golovkin didn't. But he still got the stoppage. So anyway, let me know what you guys think. Subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.